Hey friends, thanks so much for joining me today. Glad to be back. So it's been quite a while since I've been in my craft room. Although I did pre-record all of my videos while I was away in Iceland. I had a tough time getting back in my craft room. A lot of things going on in my life and my friends' lives. So just been a little kind of down in the dumps. So I wanted to make this beautiful card. I didn't even make a sample of it. So we're going to make it together. I hope it comes out just as I had planned. But I'm using Peace on Earth, the stamps, the dies, and the Peaceful Greenery 3D embossing folder, as well as the Peaceful Garden designer specialty paper, which I didn't bring in here, but this is the one sheet that I'm using. It's glitter paper, and there's a pack of 6 and 2 of each color. There's blue, gray, and they're calling it green. I don't know why, but to me it doesn't look green. So, but that's what we're using today, and we're gonna jump right in. Okay, so simple card. The first thing we're gonna do, which I guess I should have prepared a little better, right? I should have had my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out here, because that is the first thing that we're going to use. We're gonna get some die cutting done, and then some embossing. So we're going to start right off the bat. We're going to do that. Okay. Now, if you're interested in all the measurements and all that, you can certainly register for my newsletter, which goes out. Sometimes I send it out on Tuesday, especially if there's some sort of deal, some sort of sale that's starting up and I want you to know about it. All right. So one thing I want to tell you is when you need to emboss and also die cut, and you're not using a hybrid embossing folder, which this is not a hybrid embossing folder. So with hybrid embossing folders, you would be able to die cut and emboss at the same time. But since this is not a hybrid embossing folder, I'm not going to take a chance and damage my embossing folder. So we'll do that second. So you don't want to emboss first and die cut second, because what happens is when you run it through after you've embossed, the raised part will actually flatten. It'll flatten. It won't flatten completely, but it will flatten a little bit. All right, so this piece I am cutting from here because it's going to get covered up. So I'm not going to worry about it, but I do want to try to get it centered as best I can. So we're going to do all our die cutting all at once. So let me get my other pieces. So I've got my dove that I'm going to cut out of the blue glitter, which is such a pretty glitter paper, I think. And then we're going to cut this one, which is the larger one. This is the smaller one. I'm also using the larger one. I think we can get this all on here. Sometimes you futz around with all these pieces trying to get them on there. It would have been just as easy to do it twice, right? But I think we're good. Okay, so let's put that number 3 plate on top, and I moved it. All right, let's try this. Let's try this. Okay, go a little tight there because I had them uneven. Okay, let's see how we did. Hopefully it cut through the glitter. All right, so we have this piece cut. So this is the piece that I'm going to emboss now. Just a second, so let me set these aside. I don't want to lose them. Put that there. Okay, this one's done. Oh, this one did not cut all the way through, so I'm going to send that through. And the reason it didn't cut through is because I had it on the edge here. So I'm assuming that's why it didn't cut all the way through. This is the one I was worried that wouldn't cut through, but it did. So pretty cool. I love that dove. It's so pretty. All right, so let's die cut this piece one more time. This is the large one. We'll throw that in the center. Okay, so That was just that one side. I could have used my scissors, but then I probably would not be very straight with it. So this is much easier, and it cut out perfectly. All right. So, see? Perfect. Perfect the second time around. Okay, so let's keep those here. That there, and this. Now we're going to run this through the embossing folder. So I want to line this up perfectly in here, or as perfect as I can, so I can get as much of the detail as I can. So I'm going to pull this down a little. Now this piece measures, what does it measure? 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So it's just a little bit smaller than our well, I can't speak today, than our card base. And the reason I did that is because sometimes when you emboss cardstock, it kind of shrinks. So think about it. You're embossing it, right? And it's getting that raised part to it. So it's kind of like pulling the paper together, I guess, for lack of better explanation. So that's why I went a little bit bigger with the piece. My little Post-it tape is flying off. Okay. Let's see what we got. So there you go. See, had I run the embossing first and then die cut, this would have been flatter. So I didn't want that. I did not want that. I wanted it nice and raised. All right, let's get this thing out of the way. And we can put this card together. So we're going to layer this piece on here. We'll get some liquid glue. So I hope everybody's doing well. And I hope that you're all enjoying this beautiful, what I call like a peaceful season. You know, I mean, I try to slow down during this time of year rather than getting all crazy. I used to do all that crazy stuff and getting ready and whatnot, but you know what? As I get older, I just enjoy the peaceful quiet of it all. And I try not to get involved too much in all that consumerism, you know, buying this and that. I'm trying to be more mindful of non-materialistic things. So as I get older, I find that to me is more important than anything that I buy for somebody. So that's our first part there. Doesn't that look beautiful? Just love the way that looks. Okay, then I'm going to pop this up. So let me do some stamping. I'm going to use peace, love, and joy, because we can all use a little peace in our lives. So because this is a dark color ink pad, meaning, I mean, it probably, because this is not a red based ink, usually navy is, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to dip it in my Versamark first, and then we'll close that up so we don't put our fingers in there. And then I'm going to dip it into the Secret Sea, the new navy. And then we're going to just stamp this right in the center, and it should fit perfectly, which it does. Like so. Okay. Perfect. And that is all the stamping I'm going to do today. I'm not going to stamp anything on the inside. Now on the inside, you also have the option, if you like, you can put another piece of cardstock, or maybe you can use the DSP from this set, which is also beautiful. It's an option, which I might do. All right, so these two, I'm going to just glue them together So we'll add a bit of liquid glue there. And we'll center that up. Scoot that down a bit. Okay. All right, let's put some dimensionals on this. I think I'm going to use the edges. Finish these off and then use the other pieces. Maybe I won't even need those other pieces. I think this might actually be enough. Although I do need it for the dove, so we'll use it on the dove. I want to move that first piece because I kind of put it too close there. Put it more like here. See, I've been so out of practice, I don't even know where the pieces of dimensionals are supposed to go. All right, so we'll take those off. So this is so unlike me to make a completely white card. But you know what? I thought I'd give it a try. Okay, so we're going to just center this on here. And it kind of falls right back into place where the embossing was. So right about there. Okay, and then we're going to put our dove on here with some dimensionals. Let me just see how we're going to do this. So I just want dimensionals on his wing, and then I'm going to put some glue on his beak area, because the wings will stick out and the beak will be on the die cut. Okay, so we'll just add a little bit of glue. So. Let's put that right over here. Isn't that so pretty? It's just something, I mean, it's just so peaceful looking, right? Peace, love, and joy. Okay, so that's done. Now the question is, do I want to use the Hues of Blues flowers? This is the set that actually coordinates with this particular set. Or do I want to use the rhinestone basic jewels? I'm thinking the rhinestones, because we have this little glitter here on the bird. So why don't we do that? Let's use the rhinestones. And incidentally, this set, the stamp and the dies, and I believe the embossing folder as well, happen to be on the last chance list. So what does that mean? Well, for right now, it actually means that they are on back order. But they're supposed to be back in stock next Monday. So once this video goes live, they'll be back in stock a week from then. So if you're interested in ordering it from me, you can go to my website and you can order the stamps and the dies. The stamp is available now. The dies is what's on back order. So like I said, that'll be back in stock, supposed to be next Monday. So friends, there you go. Very beautiful card, isn't it? I just love the way it turned out. It's just so simple and so easy, but yet so elegant and beautiful. So I hope you give it a try. I guess the little tip that I gave in here was about the embossing folder and the die cutting, right? So I hope you give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you have any questions or anything like that, please reach out to me in my email. And if you'd like to sign up for my newsletter, please do so. There's a link in the description below the video. And I think that's it. Until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.